You ever get that feeling that the rules of the game have just changed? You know, that path our parents or grandparents took, get a stable job, buy a house you can afford, build a secure future, it just doesn't feel like it's there for us in the same way. Well, if you felt that, you are definitely not alone. There's this sense that something really fundamental has shifted, and a recent comment online just summed it up perfectly.
I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this deep-seated economic anxiety, this feeling that the basic promise of work has been totally rewritten, and not really for the better. It feels like a promise was made, and somewhere along the line, that promise got broken.
And that really is the million-dollar question we're tackling here. Is this feeling real? Is it backed up by facts? Or are we just more plugged into the world's problems thanks to social media and a 24/7 news cycle? Well, the answer is, of course, pretty complicated. But according to a ton of new research, a huge piece of this puzzle is the rise of a really powerful new force.
In that force, it's artificial intelligence. And look, this isn't just some tech buzzword. It's a massive engine of economic change that is totally reshaping entire industries and, as we're about to see, the very idea of what a job even is. So here's the key thing to understand from all the research. AI kind of has this dual personality when it comes to our jobs. It isn't just about replacing people. It's also about boosting what we can do, creating this whole new world of human-machine teamwork. It's a threat and a massive opportunity, all at the exact same time.
And this slide just lays out those two sides of the coin perfectly. On the one side, you've got displacement. Think of AI taking over those routine, predictable tasks, like a chatbot handling basic customer service questions. But on the other side, you've got augmentation. Here, AI becomes this incredible tool that helps, say, a scientist spot patterns in a massive dataset that no human could ever see on their own.
Okay, this number is just wow. 50%. Half of the entire workforce will need to learn new skills by 2025. This isn't some slow, gradual shift that we're talking about. The research makes it clear this is a super fast, society-wide shakeup that's putting a ton of pressure on everybody to adapt, and to do it now.
But here's the thing, this wave of change isn't a level playing field. It's not hitting everyone the same way. The research shows it's creating totally different realities depending on what industry you're in, what your role is, and maybe even who you are. You can see a really clear pattern emerging here. The jobs that are most exposed, the ones on the front lines, are those with tasks that are predictable, routine. But then you look at the more resilient jobs, and what do they have in common? They all lean heavily on skills that are uniquely human. Things like creativity, empathy, and complex person-to-person interaction. And the impact isn't just about the type of job, there's also a gendered component to this. The research points out that many clerical and admin roles, which are really vulnerable to AI automation, are also roles predominantly held by women. So this means if we're not careful, this tech revolution could actually make existing gender inequality in the workplace even worse.
And of course, there's the generational divide. The data pretty clearly shows that younger workers, the ones who grew up as digital natives, they tend to pick up these new tools much faster. Meanwhile, older, more experienced workers can face a much steeper learning curve. And that creates a real risk they could be left behind without the right kind of support and training.
Okay, so we've looked at the big picture trends. Now let's zoom in and see how this is actually playing out on the ground, inside companies that you and I both know. This is where the theory gets real, fast.
This table really tells the story, doesn't it? I mean, look at all the different ways AI is shaking things up. You've got direct job replacement, like with Klarna's chatbots. You've got efficiency gains leading to fewer jobs, like at UPS. And then you have a totally different kind of threat with a company like Chegg, where an outside AI, ChatGPT, suddenly made their whole business model look shaky almost overnight.
So, if you're a business leader, you can see the appeal, right? It's pretty obvious. AI is pitched as this incredible force multiplier. It promises a world where your company can do more, innovate faster, and run leaner than ever before.
But, and this is a big but, it is not always a simple success story. The Klarna example is so interesting because it shows the real limits of just swapping humans for code. They went all in, replacing 700 customer service folks with an AI, but their service quality totally tanked. They actually had to reverse course and start rehiring people. It's a huge reminder that the human touch isn't just a fluffy concept. In a lot of jobs, it's absolutely essential.
So we're looking at this massive, complicated shift. It's got real risks, but it also has real opportunities. So the big question is, what do we do about it? Well, the research doesn't just point out the problem. It actually lays out a roadmap for how we can build a more resilient workforce for this new era. And the strategy they outline is built on these 4 pillars. See, it's not about fighting against the technology. It's about leaning into what makes us human, our creativity, our critical thinking, our empathy. It's about rethinking jobs so they become collaborative, making learning a lifelong habit, and, maybe most importantly, making sure that we don't leave anyone behind in this transition.
And that gets us to the ultimate point here. The goal can't just be about building faster, more efficient systems. It has to be about building better systems, systems that are designed from the very beginning to serve human values. The question has to shift from what can this technology do to how can this technology help people thrive?
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. This future isn't something that's just happening to us. It's being built right now by the choices that we all make, as employees, as bosses, as citizens. The technology, at the end of the day, is just a tool. How we decide to use it, well, that's up to us.